Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Brooks here. Today we're taking a look at the Dr. Phil show again. Last time it was Danielle Bregoli and then her wannabe counterpart a little bit later. Those were Girls Gone Wild episodes, basically. Well, this time it's a little different. This time we have a boy going wild, and we got his father giving an interesting explanation for it. The clip's called Why Father Says He Believes 12-Year-Old Son is Possessed by Demons. Yeah, this should be good. Let's check it out.
Tell me how you've come to the conclusion that it's demonic possession, because that's a pretty atypical decision.
Phil, I think the words you're looking for here are, this was a pretty retarded decision. There's no such thing as demons, obviously. But instead of being direct and calling this out immediately and putting a stop to all this, Phil goes on to entertain this poor guy's delusions. He goes on and on about it, and as you'll see, Phil really lets this guy dig his hole real deep.
At 2.5 years old, he began exhibiting traits. There was the stacking glass around his mother's neck, point side up. And if she would have turned, I caught him in the middle of it. I felt the energy shift and I woke up and I caught him in the middle of it.
This is clearly a superstitious man, and probably low IQ, and these are exactly the types of people who believe in demons, ghosts, or magic. The thing is though, I'm really starting to feel bad for the guy here. In the long run on this show, Phil keeps setting him up to fail like this. He's exploiting it. I want to say they're both kind of to blame here, but I mostly find it funny how Dr. Phil could be so inquisitive and judgmental with other guests, like those wild and out of control teenage girls. But with an older guy like this one now, today, Phil just lets him spout out his nonsense over and over. I guess he's not smoking weed and ruining his life though. He just thinks demons possessed his kid because he can't explain why he acts so out of control.
There's been several other incidents along the time.
Okay, well, let's go back to that first one. At 2.5, you say he broke this glass ball, and you say he was putting this around your wife's neck, pointed edges towards her neck, so if she turns, it could have injured her seriously.
Yes, sir.
Well, now Phil is basically telling this guy's lame story for him. Kind of weird seeing him set this guy up so hard.
Obviously not good behavior, dangerous behavior, but how is that behavior demonic?
I don't know everything about demonic forces, first off. I know...
No one does, dude. There are no demonic forces. Phil, just break the news to the poor guy. Let him know.
Enough to understand. I've, just like any man, I have a past. I've come to know Jesus in the last 4 years. Try to do my best to walk hand in hand, day in and day out.
Wow, this guy's got a dark past, I guess. There's definitely some sadness behind those eyes. This does help with his story. It's starting to make a lot more sense now. This guy only recently found Jesus, the church, and religion. A few years ago, I think he said. So he hasn't been around long enough to know it's a crock of shit. Believe me, I've got 16 years of the Catholic Church under my belt. And as much as I wanted the Da Vinci Code and angels and demons to be real, they're just not. Maybe Jesus was real, but I doubt he was the Son of God. Think about the story. The Virgin Mary giving birth to the Son of God. Let me tell you, if I had a nickel for every pregnant Jewish girl who said they were virgins, I'd be able to buy all the microtransactions in Battlefront 2, bought and paid for. The fact of the matter is this: I know Jesus wasn't the Son of God, because there is no God. There, I said it. I'm an atheist and religion is fake, made-up nonsense. I didn't really expect to get this far into religion today here, but it's true. 9 times out of 10, religion is used to control people or take their money. There is a small bright side though. There is that 1 time out of 10 that religion could save people's lives. That 1 of 10 times where it brings people together and teaches kids how to be good, moral, productive members of society, like me. Regardless of the historical or supernatural accuracy, the Bible stories can be good teaching tools, if used properly. Namely, don't take it all literally, you just learn the morals from the stories and no, it's not all true.
A lot of the things I'm reading, that I've read, he sees the demon in his sleep when he closes his eyes. He showed his mother pictures of what he sees before. He drew her a picture once upon a time. I heard her make the comment about me putting things in his head about the demonic possession. I wasn't the one who brought it up that night.
I have a feeling you brought it up and probably forgot. This is certainly a big issue for your family though, since Phil wants to hammer it out so extensively. Sounds to me like you've been reading those Bible stories and taking them a little too literally, buddy. And now I'm starting to think this whole teaching people with scare tactic stories from the Bible is a little too manipulative and opportunistic. These are the kinds of people that are still attending modern day churches, for the most part. And Dr. Phil indulging this superstitious bullcrap is getting to be a little too much. Now, I know I said the Bible can be used to teach people stuff, but this guy on Phil's show isn't getting it. and he's a little too old and naive to be fed religious dogma without generous grains of salt. This is the kind of guy who needs things laid out straight to him. He needs someone to tell him straight up and be honest with him, like I said. Let's just say he's not a deep enough thinker to use analogies and hyperbole. He needs honest, straightforward advice. Just say like I've been saying, Phil. Hey guy, there are no demons. Your kid is just acting out. He may have some issues or maybe even mental problems, but this is all stuff we can explain with science and reason, not demons.
When it happened, when I walked into that room and it happened, I walked out of that room, told my wife to come in with a video camera, walked out of that room and went and called somebody I know to ask questions.
So before...
Probably his sponsor. The guy's likely an Alcoholic Anonymous or Narcotic Anonymous. Somebody you know, he says. Well, I know who you know, bro. For show. But really, this guy's going so far as to grab cameras and try and film this supposedly supernatural stuff. He really does need help with this, and I'm just hoping Phil will eventually lay it out for him.
Questions.
So before he told you that somebody was in his head telling him to stab the whole family, did you or did you not tell him that the devil will get him whether it's daylight or dark when you turned off that light?
No, I did not.
Because you were angry with him because he did something that you didn't...
No, I did not.
Not very convincing, guy. Reminds me of the mom from the movie Waterboy. Bobby Boucher. Women are the devil. TV's the devil.
Don't you remember what your mama told you about girls?
I remember, Mama.
I don't ever want you associating with little girls.
Why not, Mama?
Because little girls are the devil.
Everything is always the devil with these kinds of superstitious people.
I made a list of the reasons that I could discern from what you said that you thought he was possessed. And one is that he placed glass near Jen's neck and right around her artery. That he has spoken a raspy voice.
Okay, Phil, letting him go on and on about demons is one thing, but did you have to make a PowerPoint presentation about this batshit crazy theory he has? And from the looks of it, it looks like this guy watched a bit of the Exorcist movie too. Violent behavior, raspy voice. All we need is to have the boy spitting soup and his head spinning around his neck, and we got a classic horror movie on our hands here.
This is making mommy pretty.
Right.
Eyes glazed over, filmy look.
Looks like a lizard, like when a lizard licks their eyes for moisture.
Yeah.
That's the look.
I hate to say it, but I really think this guy believes in lizard people. He's almost beyond hope. But now I think I know why his kid is acting out. The dad is clearly not smart enough to be able to discipline him properly or raise him. The guy believes in fucking ghosts. He probably raises his kid by praying for him all day. Instead of actually teaching him stuff, he's saying Hail Marys and bullshit.
And reading the Bible stirs up the spirit. What do you mean?
Well, I've gone in there and prayed over him at night whenever he's sleeping, and he's fast asleep. And he gets real uneasy. And then I stop and I leave.
Whoa, whoa. Hey, I swear to God, I did not watch this part before that last line I said. But this guy is doing exactly what I guessed. He's praying for his kid instead of teaching him, like I said he would. You really can't make this shit up.
You said you felt the presence of the demonic spirit in the bedroom.
It was dark. It was extremely.
You felt it.
Every hair on my body stood up. I don't know if anybody's ever felt that before or not, but every hair on your body stands up. You know it's dark and it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Those are called Goosebumps, guy. No, not those Goosebumps, but those are great books.
And he came to the door, and he was so terrified. There again, and he opened the door up and he says, "Dad, I need to be with you. It's the only place we're safe." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "He's telling me to get a knife and kill the family."
Well, I gotta admit, that's some pretty fucking scary shit. Maybe his kid really is possessed. I don't know. He probably just has mental issues though. Or maybe he's just acting out for attention. I would say whatever the explanation is, it's not demonic or supernatural. I mean, as much as I love Sam and Dean on that show, supernatural stuff just is not real.
So I've gone back to age 2 here, and this is when you guys break up. This is when you say this is when you were more absent, and grandfather dies.
Yeah.
Okay, He starts preschool. He gets a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome.
In the end, I was right. Again, I found another clip in it. Turns out the kid has Asperger's, amongst other mental issues. He's just an autistic kid and the dad doesn't understand mental issues like that, so he says it's demonic. It really is that simple. Phil could have ended this whole episode by explaining this in the first 2 minutes. But I guess he had to stretch it out to fill the whole hour though. Oh well, at least we got these little gems to watch and comment on. What do you guys think? Is this guy really seeing demons possess his son? Is Dr. Phil entertaining this supernatural stuff a little too much? He's likely just doing it for ratings or to stretch the time out. Comment your thoughts below and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Also, we're doing a live stream here today in a few hours at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hey, we're in the West Coast, baby. We're going to be talking about the Justice League movie and the Punisher TV series and all kinds of other fun stuff. We'll see you later today. Thanks again for watching. Good night and good luck, everybody. Be safe out there. Au revoir. Adios. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Ukpa shinka. Danke. Tschüss.
Yeah.